New video, new case study, GBP USD short, which I shared in my free Telegram channel. I dropped the link below if you want to join it. It's completely for free. Look at it. If you don't like it, leave it. Pretty simple. All right. So we took a short on GBP USD this morning and it ended up being break even, but it's a pretty interesting trade. So definitely stay on to the end because we're going to go in some good trading sauce. All right, subscribe for more of this content, hit the like button. And if you got a question about the setup, about me explaining something, drop it in the comment section. I'm happy to help you and answer all of your questions. All right, let's dive in. So we had a bullish range on GU, and on the 4 hour we can see that we have, if it's loading, yep, it's loading. There was some liquidity. I don't know what's happening with the chart. There it is. So we had a wick over here. We took out that wick, which is kind of interesting to be honest, because it has taken at least some liquidity from the market. But overall, we had a bullish range. We had a low in the market and we had a high in the market. So bullish range. Price came all the way down into the last POI. It was melting, and this is where my EU trade went completely mayhem. Stop loss fucked completely. But interestingly enough, price came into the last POI of this range, and I was waiting for price to retrace a little bit and induce buyers, because what do buyers do? They wait for price to come into the last POI of the bullish range, wait for a 15-minute break of structure. When a 15-minute break of structure occurs, they get even more confirmations to go long, and this is where I want to take advantage of those buyers and counter trade them. And honestly, this kind of stuff works out pretty often, to be honest. But let's dive in. Let's dive in. And therefore, we have to go to a little bit to the lower time frames. So around the 15-minute, 5-minute is where it gets really interesting, and even the 1 minute today. So what we can see is that price had build up of a trend line over here. Loads of sellers getting in, and eventually they have to be stopped out at some point, right? We cannot have so many touches of the trend line. At some point they become the liquidity and we have to take them out. But there was more to this, because if we drop it to the 1 minute price action, we can see that there was, this area is a 5-minute POI. What do we have? We have a high and a low. So although buyers are coming in from this area, sellers are coming in from this area. So I already knew if price come in and trade into that 5-minute POI, we will see early sellers coming in. And that's what I like, because I need people to get induced in the market before I even think about entering. What else do we have? We had a support area, turned into resistance, price came into that POI. But it also came into that resistance zone, had that bearish push down, and now I was waiting for price. All right, so we have a few break of structures on the 1 minute. Now it's waiting for price to retrace, coming into that area again, waiting for that sweep of that high, so that 15-minute bullish break of structure. This is the 15-minute bullish break of structure. This is also the sweep of that liquidity. A little bit more nice. Early sellers have their stops also here, so resistance traders, smart money traders, trendline traders all went in on this area to go short. And what do I need in order for me to get into the opposite direction? First, I need buyers to get induced. How do we induce buyers? Well, by breaking bullish market structure. Remember, the 15-minute, right? 15-minute high, 15-minute low, bullish break of structure. Look at the details, right? It's a wick, but it's a bullish break of structure for loads of buyers. And honestly, what I did is just simply entering on the sweep. I entered straight here, and price had a good initial direction. I de-risked my trade over here, and I will show you on the 1 minute. Let me see if that's correct. I think I went de-risking over here when we broke this low, and I already had my new point for break even set. If we push down and create a new low, I will go to break even, because otherwise it becomes way too risky, and I don't want to risk unnecessary money. Trading is loads about protecting your capital by all means, And that's simply what I'm doing. So interesting, we can see that in this little piece of price action, sellers getting induced. So smart money traders, resistance traders, trendline traders. Three types of traders that getting induced. Buyers are getting induced as well, because what do we see, right? Price comes in to that lost area, and what does it do? Well, this is the beauty of understanding markets and price action to such a degree that you can read this stuff, right? We do have a buildup of liquidity, sweep of that liquidity, and a bullish break of structure. This is a smart money's dream, right? A smart money trader always wait for a buildup of liquidity, sweep of the liquidity, and a bullish break of structure, which happens. So early buyers are already in here. Remember, early buyers. So just talked about the sellers that were in. Early buyers are already in. They seen the ride. They think, all right, price is moving in my way. They might going to break even. I don't know, whatever their strategy is. But then we have the traders that wait for the 15-minute bullish break of structure so they can enter on the last POI. So for example, we have a bullish break of structure. This is where loads of smart money traders were wanting to go in. And when we swept that resistance, aka trend line, aka early sellers, we induced buyers into the market. And now I know sellers are out, buyers are coming in. Now I can be the one to target all those buyers. Well, it didn't play out all the way, but in the end, price action was pretty clean. And I will press play from here. You can see what happens. Break even for me. Break even got hit. Price decided to hover around. Almost, it took me out at break even. Went down again. Went up again. Complete sideways. Melted towards the downside. And look what it did for the buyers that were in from this POI. You can see the reaction. Price comes into this POI, gives that bullish reaction. Again, gives a bullish break of structure. This is where they're entering. There are people re-entering from this area, gives that bullish reaction, and in the end, it takes them all out, all buyers liquidated. My target was lower because higher time frame narrative showed me that the DXY have higher time frame liquidity resting above, meaning that GBP USD had liquidity down below. Let me show it. Going into the 15 minutes. Where is the liquidity? Well, liquidity was here, but we have loads of liquidity resting here. And well, let me put the DXY to show you where the liquidity was on the DXY, resistance area and resistance area. So I do believe we have a high opportunity that price will come and take that out. With everything going on with geopolitics, but also with the war and tariffs putting down by the US. I don't know what will happen next, but I don't care what happens next. I take trades based upon my strategy, based upon my confluences, and it's playing out pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. Again, I share everything in my free Telegram channel, so if you're not in it, definitely join it. If you don't like it, you can leave it. Pretty simple. So everything was lining up with the DXY, which on EU, if you saw my earlier video, was completely messed up. But going into GU again, we can clearly see that price has taken out all those buyers that went in early. Let's see what will happen next. Price comes in again. So I think this is, we are now at current price action. I don't care what will happen next because of course I'm already out. But you can see that by understanding what other traders are doing, what other participants are doing, we can clearly see where we want to enter. And yes, of course, break-even trades are a big part of the trading strategies. It's for every trading strategy, you have break-evens, you have losses, you have wins. And it's so obvious that, all right, price went up again, induced what? New buyers. What happened to those buyers that went in on the last demand zone? They got taken out again. So trading and reading price action is a game of understanding who's getting in, who's getting induced, who's getting swept. And if you understand truly how price action develops and you can master that, you will be such a profitable day trader in the future. And I can help you with it. Again, coming to my channel, everything is for free. I share all of these insights as well. And it takes time to read it like this. but it's so powerful. So beautiful trade. Would take this any other day. Unfortunately, it was a break-even trade, but all good. If you got any questions about this setup, about this trade, drop them in the comment section. Happy to answer all of your questions. Subscribe for more of this content, and I will see you on to the next video. Cheers!